There's a lot of people on social media now telling you that you can use lye as a dewormer, and it does not kill worms on its own. However, it does lower the worm count, and there's a process how it works. Now, if you look at the ruminant digestive tract, any amount of lye that's strong enough to actually kill worms in the abomasum would also destroy the reticulum and the other stomachs of the sheep or animal. And so while lye is lowering the fecal egg count slightly, it's not getting rid of the worms because of the alkalinity of the lye affecting these worms in the abomasum. There's another process. What the lye is doing is when you mix it with water and put your grain in it, it's eating away the pericarp, this outer hard shell around the grain. It's actually dissolving the pericarp and exposing the endosperm so the animal can get more nutrition out of the grain. Now, you can also do this by soaking the grain in water and wood ashes, because wood ashes acts just like lye does as a caustic base. And soaking the grain in wood ashes or lye unlocks tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid that the animals and humans cannot synthesize on their own. They have to get it from grain, so you're upping the amount of tryptophan that your animals are getting. And this tryptophan creates nicotinic acid, which is niacin. And it's vitamin B3, so you're unlocking the tryptophan, which also unlocks the niacin and vitamin B3. And if humans go without niacin and tryptophan, well, that lack of tryptophan and niacin is called pellagra. It's a disease from a vitamin deficiency that was very common in the South a long time ago before we figured this out. So in the southern United States, pellagra would cause these lesions all over a person's body. And it occurred in places where people ate nothing but corn, like mostly a corn diet, which was common in the South. Also, if you sweat a lot and expend a lot of salt, it makes pellagra a little bit more common. To combat the problem of pellagra, the people in the South started making grits, which is hominy that's been soaked in water with alkali, like wood ashes or lye, and that would break down the pericarp or the wall, the ovary wall around the corn, and that would actually unlock the niacin, and that would cure the niacin deficiency. And so that's why grits are so popular in the southern United States, because it's actually like a type of medicine. So the Aztecs and the people of Central America a long time ago were one of the first people to ever figure this out, and they called it Nixtamalization. And what that means, it's Spanish for ashes and corn dough. And so they're putting ashes with their corn dough, or to make their corn dough, and that's breaking down the pericarp, which then unlocks the tryptophan and unlocks the niacin and vitamin B3. So this idea that you're pouring lye through an animal's digestive system to destroy the worms inside of it and not destroy the animal itself is totally incorrect. What we're doing with nixtamalization is we're giving the animal a real boost in its nutrition, and that's upping its immune system, and its immune system is expelling some of the worms. So it's really not a dewormer, you're just improving the nutrition of the animal to the point where it starts dropping its own worms. So once we understand how the process works, it's a lot easier to use this to our advantage. That is, we're not going to just keep adding more lye if we don't, to get rid of all the worms. You don't up the lye. The lye just needs to reduce the pericarp around the grain, and that's all it needs. So it doesn't need a lot of lye. It needs a small amount of it. And so you don't want to experiment with more lye in the animal feed. You also want to make sure you soak it to remove the pericarp. You want to add the water and let it sit for a while, maybe like 24 hours. But you don't want to add so much lye that you destroy the animal's digestive system. Now, none of this really applies to me because I don't deworm my sheep. I have St. Croix, and they don't ever need to be dewormed. The second thing is I don't feed grain to my sheep. And I let them have a grass-based diet, and if they can't pull what they need out of the environment, then I cull the skinny ones. So I'm not really worried any way at all. I just don't want to see somebody actually burn an animal from the inside out because they don't know what they're doing. So I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching the video.